Maria Chacon, and I am a member of the League of Women Voters of the Morristown area. The League is a nonpartisan political organization that encourages informed and active participation in government, works to increase understanding of major public policy issues, and influences public policy through education and advocacy. Empowering voters, defending democracy is our mission. Elections and voting are core concerns for the League. We are committed to providing fact-based information about issues and positions candidates take on. We want to help voters make their own decisions and participate in the electoral process. We envision a democracy where everyone has the desire, the right, the knowledge, and the confidence to participate. The League is a nonpartisan organization, never supports or opposes political parties or candidates. Membership in the League is open to people 16 years and older of all gender identities. With 100 plus years of experience, the League is one of America's oldest and most trusted civic nonprofit organizations. Partnering with the League in presenting this forum, we welcome Bill Westhoven of the Daily Record, part of the USA Today, New Jersey, and Vanessa Brown of NAACP Morris County branch. Vanessa had an emergency and she cannot be here today with us, but I would like to ask again, Bill, would you like to say a few words?
I think these folks want to hear from these 8 people. I'll skip.
Okay. So we are grateful to Vanessa and Bill for their nonpartisan participation and support, and look forward to continuing our work together. We encourage everyone to go to vote411.org, a one-stop site for information on all aspects of voting in New Jersey, with information about all candidates up and down the ballot. And please visit our website and the New Jersey League website, which addresses the latest in voting concerns. This forum is being live streamed on the Morristown area YouTube channel and will be available there for viewing later on. All forums conducted by the New Jersey Leagues can also be viewed on the NJ websites and the 411.org. We encourage the sharing of the League's recording of this event in its entirety, but we do not allow editing or making public any excerpts from the recording. Please silence your phones, refrain from taking photos or videos during the forum, and please do not post on social media. The League name, logo, event recording, or any materials from the event cannot be used in a way that could lead a viewer or reader to infer League support of or opposition to a candidacy. We have future confirmed local forums throughout Morris County. In addition, we have sent out invitations to candidates for the Morris County Clerk and Commissioner in District 25. Please reach out to your candidates and encourage them to participate in nonpartisan League forums so we can all be informed voters. At this time, I would like to introduce our moderator, Tony Zimmer. Tony is a League trained moderator who is not from this voting district. She will introduce the candidates and outline the format for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So it's really a pleasure to be here tonight and to greet each of you. And I just want to let the audience know the format for the debate. Each candidate will be making a 1-minute opening statement. And the questions that will be asked in between that time, they will have 1 minute to answer those questions. There will be rebuttals allowed, so if I see a candidate raise their hand, I'll note it, and then they'll have a 30-second period to rebut. And the closing statements at the end of the forum will be 2 minutes per candidate. So before we got started here, we picked the order for the opening statements. Each board will be seated the way they are, okay? And I'll just go ahead and read their names for you. Ward 1, the way that they're seated right now, from left to right. Claudia Taro and Gail Rodriguez. Ward 2, Sergio Rodriguez, and Wendy Carmona. Ward 3, Michael Scanino and William Schuler. And Ward 4, Arturo Santana, AB, as he's known, and William Inglis. Okay, the orders for the opening statements are as follows. For Ward 1, we will begin with Claudia Toro.
Yes, thank you, Tanya. I want to thank you, Legal Women's Borders and the Value Records New Jersey.
Hello?
Yes. Just 1 second. Tony, start over or continue?
Oh, could you start over, please?
Okay. I want to thank you, Legal Women's Borders and Value Records New Jersey, for the opportunity to introduce myself to Dover in this debate. Good evening, everybody. My name is Claudia Toro, Democrat, running for Alderman in Dover. I'm running because everybody is responsible in this community. Given my background and experience is the most sense to me. I am Dover for more than 15 years, an immigrant from Colombia. About the immigrants, Dover is immigrant town. It's very difficult because we need to learn from zero when we show up to this country. But we learn. I'm a single mother. I'm a single mother. I have one child. His name is Matthew. I volunteered in Dover for 5 years in Morris County Family Success Center, connecting Dover families. I'm professional in tax account for 10 years and business administrator. I'm currently a student in Harvard University in Boston.
Okay,
Financial planning. Thank you.
thank you. Okay, Gail,
Good evening. Thank you very much.
you're gonna need a microphone.
You can hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
No, so it's your microphone. Thank you. Try it now. Hello? Try this one. Hello? Hello? Good evening. Thank you for having me here this evening. My name is Gail Rodriguez, and I'm running as Alderman for Ward 1. Can't hear it.
You have to speak up. I can't hear you in the back.
Well, people can move forward. I lived in Dover for the last 25 years.
Turn up the volume.
The volume's up. You just have to speak into the mic.
You have to hold it at your.
You have to hold it like this, like right close to your mouth.
I've lived in Dover for 25 years. We have
Hello,
to
hello.
switch on or switch off.
No.
So sweet. Can you hear me good?
Yes.
All right, great. So again, hi, thank you for having me here this evening. My name is Gail Rodriguez. I have lived in Dover for 25 years, and I've owned my home for at least that period of time. I'm a single parent of 4 children, adult children, and I have 3 grandchildren. I have 2 children from Central America, and I have 2 children from the United States. My Central American children have gone through the Dover school system, and today everybody's prospering well. So I'm proud of that. We are a blended family, a true blended family. There are many issues at stake in Dover. And it's not just this administration, it's the administration before and before that. And it's been building to the point that we really must come forward and do whatever we can, and as much as we can, as a community, as a neighborhood, to make changes. And that's what I plan to do when I'm elected. I want to thank you very much for the opportunity to debate them this evening.
Thank you very much. Sergio.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sergio Rodriguez. Thank you all for joining us this evening. I'm just gonna go off the script because what I have written down was probably what you guys mostly know about me, but I kind of want to just tell you guys a little bit about myself. So I was born in Colombia and I came to the United States. My parents brought me here to the town of Dover at 4 years old. I went through the public school systems here in Dover, except for Dover High School because I was fortunately able to go to Morris County School of Technology. But a little bit about myself, other than my work experience and professional experience, is that I'm a hard worker. As an immigrant myself, immigrants kind of have to come into this country, learn everything from zero. As you can see, I'm speaking perfect English. My first language is actually Spanish. I put myself through school by working part-time, though going to school full-time. So whenever my friends were out partying on Fridays and Saturdays, I was delivering pizzas to make up so that I could pay for my class tuitions over the summers, over the winters, because I wanted to go extra. I'm a hard worker and I'm here to work for you guys.
Thank you. Wendy?
Thank you, League of Voters, for having us here tonight. The United States, a Declaration of Independence states, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people, all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Since these rights are given to us by God, they cannot be taken away. The love of God, family, and country has been a foundation that the United States has been built on and continues in the hearts of many of the people today. The love of God, family, and country, and community bind the citizens of America together and is what keeps us strong. When we lose our love for any of these three and only pursue self, money, and power, and forget we are accountable to God, morality fails in our families and our society suffers. Since the 1960s, it has been said, do your own thing, my truth, your truth. Movies and entertainment have changed the perceived values of family and God. Prayer was taken out of schools, good has become bad, and bad has become good. Was that it?
Thank you. William?
I got one. Does it work? Is it working? It's good. Sounds like it's working. Okay, I'm Bill Schuler. I too am a lifelong resident of Dover, except for 3 short years where I lived a couple years in Germany and 1 year in Morristown with my bride, the future Frau Schuler. For over 30 years, I worked in the insurance industry, and in addition to that, I'm a volunteer. For all my 30 years, I volunteered at the school PTAs, I volunteered in Rotary, the Chamber of Commerce, Dover Area Historical Society. For 20 years, I've been on the board of the Zufall Health Center and worked hard to help them grow from a staff of 7 to over 400 today. I'm an optimist, I'm athletic and runner. I like to have fun, and I think I speak for my family when I say we love our home, we love our neighbors, we love our neighborhood, and we love Dover. So I hope you live for me, and thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Michael?
Good evening. Thank you, League of Women Voters, for this opportunity. I'm a 42-year resident of the town of Dover. My entire time here, I've volunteered and given my time to the town, from the town recreation departments to 15 years on the Board of Education, 27 years as the chairman of the Dover Zoning Board, and the last 3 as the chairman of the Planning Board. In the early part of this year, I was asked if I would be interested in filling the empty seat on the Board of Aldermen, and I was honored when the mayor and the board did select me to fill that. The people of Dover, they deserve people that are going to work together for the town. That is the one thing I will promise you. I will work with the other members of the Board of Aldermen, and we will work to get the problems of our town solved. We have many challenges that we have to face, and it takes strong leadership to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. AD?
Greetings, everyone. My name is Arturo Santana, and I've had the privilege of serving as your 4th Ward Alderman in the town of Dover for the past 1.5 years. As a lifelong resident of the 4th Ward, I graduated from Dover High School in 2004. Immediately after, entered the workforce and thrived in my passion for automobiles as an auto body technician. In 2011, my wife and I decided to invest in the 4th Ward community by purchasing our forever home where we would raise our family. Today, I'm here to ask my community, once again, to place their trust in me as your 4th Ward Alderman, so that we can work together and give all families and children a brighter future. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bill?
Good evening, Dover. Thank you to our hosts, the League of Women's Voters, the NAACP of Morristown, and the Daily Record. As stated, my name is Bill Inglis, and I've lived in Dover in the 4th Ward for my entire 61 years. I'm a Dover High School graduate, like my mother before me, and my 3 children after me. I was a volunteer coach in soccer, basketball, and baseball, all through my children's young lives, and they continued their sports up through high school. We need to make our neighborhoods the first priority. If our neighborhoods thrive, our 4th Ward thrives, and also, in turn, the town of Dover can be a place we all can be proud of and a destination for business, recreation, and our forever homes.
Thank you very much. Now we'll start with the individual questions. And the first question will go to Claudia. The question is, it appears that some aldermen are more visible and directly in touch with their ward constituents than others. Do you agree that the plans proposed in 2020 for each alderman to host ward meetings with their constituents should go forward?
First of all, we're talking about the position about the aldermen, right? The position about the aldermen. The position about the aldermen is representing, thank you.
He's on.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, that's better. Okay. I'm talking about myself, gonna be the alderwoman representing anybody, that's the job, representing anybody from the ward. My ward is Ward 1, representing people, listen, people, basic word direct with the town. When people have issues, concerns, ideas, listen community issues, services to the community, and the first of all, safe community. That's the plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail.
Hello?
It should be on already.
Hello? Hello? I do support it. We have a responsibility as aldermen to go out to our communities, out to our ward, know what they need, what they want, and we have an obligation to bring it back into a meeting and discern what we can do, what we can deliver, and what we might not be able to, and then go back out into our community and deliver that message. I do support it.
Okay. Thank you. Sergio?
Yes. Hello. So I do support, I think the question was community leaders in our wards.
Yes, it's,
Community
you want me to
meetings.
read it again to you?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the general consensus of the question is we need to get in touch with more, our alderman is the representative of the ward, but it can go further. There's a lot, when we campaign and go door to door, there are individuals in these blocks that care about their blocks. And you can use those individuals to get the insight of the current blocks because we're just one person, we can't be at every block. But these individuals that, they want to take an initiative, they want to talk to the elected member because, not everyone opens a door, but, there's people that are interested that care about their blocks in the community, and we can use these people for good information to the alderman and then relay that up to the mayor so things get done and we have a very direct contact to the people that are living in our community. So yes, I would be very much for community meetings.
Thank you.
Yes, I too think they are an awesome idea. It gives a chance for us to really hear what the people of our ward, what their needs are. And as Surgeon pointed out, you can't always walk everywhere and be in every place all the time, but we need to have good listening ears to really hear what those concerns are. I just think it's very valuable, so thank you.
Okay, Michael, you're next.
Yes, the community meetings, the ward meetings are a very important part of getting to know your constituents. it is also an excellent way that we can give the constituents what is going on in town and find out what are the issues that they face with their everyday lives and things that we can possibly help them with. It is a difficult thing to try to do, right from the logistics of getting a meeting and getting everybody on board to do it. But it is something that we are beginning right now. We are going to piggytail off of the community policing initiative and go out to meet our members with them.
Bill?
Yeah, I think I agree with all the comments that have been said so far. There's nothing like having the community come together in the 4 wards, get block parties, things like that. I know former Mayor Dodd will recall when we were doing the planning board rewrite way back in 2003 to 6. We got a lot of input from the community, and it was one of the some of the best meetings I had attended, because you heard things from people who never had an opportunity to speak up. So I think that's huge to open up town hall in the local neighborhoods and get people to come out and talk about it. One thing I neglected to say earlier, I was briefly an alderman from 2003 to 2005, so I kind of know the drill. Thankfully, I'm still connected to a lot of activities going on in town, so I see and hear all the issues we all see. Taxis, blowing through stoplights on Academy Street, people annoyed that the street's being painted, all that fun stuff. So I love to find solutions.
Thank you. AB?
I do agree. Sorry, I do agree with it. It'd be a great point of contact, and it's hard for us as aldermen to get to everybody and hear their concerns and stuff. So I think it's a great idea. We could pinpoint it there, send our concerns to whoever they have to go to, and that's it.
Thank you. Bill?
Yes, the simple answer is yes. We need community meetings because we are government by the people, for the people.
Great. Okay, next question. We're going to start with you, Wendy. What are your 3 top priorities that you need to address to help our town if you are elected?
What did you say the last part, how our town was?
You need to address to help your town if elected, with your 3 top priorities.
What are my 3 top priorities? Okay, well, one thing I wanted to address as talking with people when I was walking in our ward is a lot of the issue is a parking issue, and I find that we need to stop allowing contractors to come in and dividing up all our houses into multi-family housing. The backyards become a parking lot. There's no place to park on the street, and oftentimes that's the issue we have where people are crowded in not proper living conditions. So we need to change some of our zoning to stop this. Most people want to buy their own home. They don't want to be crowded into small spaces. Another thing is, you're trying to explore new ways to create revenue. So I've been kind of going around town just seeing where some of our industrial areas are, like I think it was Rich Boynton Road and some other areas, to see if there's any room where we could add even more industry, trying to find a way to draw that into the town to help keep our taxes lower. Was that it? Oh, I'm sorry.
Sergio?
Yes. Just repeat it real fast.
Sure. What are your 3 top
Yes.
priorities?
Quality of life, public and safety, and quality of life and public and safety encompasses all the complaints that I've heard from everybody. Their number 1 complaint is quality of life and public safety. You know, I don't want to put it into their words, but the drunk people, the police is not responding, the parties are going on, and then I call the cops and they tell me that I have to go back inside, and not those that they have to be quiet. It's very simple things that it's not unreasonable what our residents are asking for. It's not unreasonable because they're just asking for to live in dignity, to live in dignity. A lot of our individuals here in Dover, they also find themselves living in these single family homes, but they have to share the kitchens or the bathrooms, and there's a lot of problems with there because they don't really have a voice, and the landlord kind of dictates everything there. This encompasses everything: quality of life, public safety, because that's what everyone honestly wants in the country, if you kind of hear what the complaints of everybody in this country.
Thank
Right?
you. Bill?
I agree to all those said before me. What I think also needs to be done is better communication from the town. We have a couple of issues that just drive everyone up the wall: affordable housing, luxury or deluxe housing, low-income housing, market rate housing, upzoning, downzoning. The public just doesn't know these terms, so we have to educate the public better so they know what the deal that we're getting for them. Sometimes Dover just has to say what's in it for us, what's in it for all of us, and what's not a good deal, what is a good deal, and sometimes Dover just has to say no. So I think we just have to be attuned to all our capabilities and all our resources, and we also have to ask for help when we need it. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We've been around since 1722, but there's other people with a little more knowledge.
Thank you. Michael?
My number one objective, we accomplish nothing until we get a local governing body that works together. Once we work together as a team, we can start to tackle the issues that we have in this town. Number one issue that we have is our finances. We need to get our finances under control. We have to find out where we have any room at all to cut spending. We need to find out where we need to improve services. We need to work on public safety. We need to work on public safety. That is our biggest threat in town. We need to help our police department, our fire department. We saw this Saturday. We are lucky. The next thing we need to do is work on the quality of life in our town, to get rid of the overcrowding and the stacking that is causing us gridlock in our town, is putting a drain on our schools, and basically just causing havoc in our town.
Thank you. Bill?
Three topics. Well, quality of life, obviously. Well, quality of life brings in a lot of topics. I think we've already heard all of them. Overcrowding, public safety. When there's overcrowding, that's a problem for the fire department, a problem for the police department. We have to get our finances in check, obviously, be a little more prudent in where we're spending, and third one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. AB?
I would start off with budget and financing. As you all know, we do have a situation with that, and it's not pretty. Quality of life also, like everyone said, it's very big. We could tackle different things on that. And I would go with zoning. We got to be a little bit smarter with it and really think about what's good for the town and future.
Thank you. Gail?
Should I try the mic? Can you hear me good?
Yes. Yeah?
Yes? Great. So I did a lot of walking and a lot of asking Ward 1 folks on exactly this, what is their issue. And I got this type of feedback. Business decisions decided by local government, in most cases, not extending to the welfare of the neighborhoods. That they only see the aldermen when they're out and about trying to get voted in. We need to feed information and generate resident interest in what's going on, what's good and what's not good. Unfortunately, they're not getting any communication at all, and we have to correct that. We have to explain what's going on, why it's going on, do they agree? If not, let's get them into town hall, let's have a discussion.
And Claudia?
Yes, I agree with all concerns about the candidates, and the first priority is public safety. So if our town is safe, it's a big attraction to come in with resource and more investment to the town. If we not fix that first, right now with this administration, the town is unsafe. So the people coming in the people love the town and coming at the first time because see the town is a historical town and beautiful town to live. But when you start to see the Blackwell Street after 10 p.m., it's very unsafe. So we need working more and on it, even with the state of New Jersey to have more resources. We need more of the overcrowded in the stocking and educate for assistance and work with the plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next question is going to go to Michael. And it is, do you believe that aldermen should not only report on the committee's activities, but also report on issues and concerns of their constituents?
Yes, the committee system that we use is a vitally important system. It is our way of making contact with our department heads to find out not only what we want them to do to communicate that to them, but also to find out what they need us to do to help them do their jobs. As far as the second part, to bring our concerns to the Board of Aldermen, a lot of times that is only a matter of bringing it to the specific department heads to address their issues. But when there is a further reaching problem, yes, we bring it to the Board of Aldermen, very similar to the incidents that we had on Livingston Avenue that I took to the board, which required us to pass some ordinances and approve some finances to address that issue. So it works both ways. A lot of times it is just to bring the attention to the department heads, but when it is a bigger problem, to bring it to the entire board.
Okay, thank you. Bill?
Yeah, absolutely. The committee system is great. The aldermen get a great opportunity to see how each department works, what their pluses and minuses are, where problems are, and it's a great way to bring it back to the rest of the board, because there's only so many hours a day. It is a part-time job. You can't treat it as a full-time job. You got to let the professionals in those areas do their work, but they have to be monitored. The other side of that is, I'll take the bullet here. The perception of safety in town. I for one feel very safe in town. I feel very secure. I see the problems that we have, but I've never felt threatened in town. For that, I'm thankful. Same with my family. But it is an issue, so we want to have more visibility from our police, which is a good thing, and I think the committee, nature of the committee allows you to do more with them and bring their issues back to the board as a group.
Thank you. Amy?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Do you believe that aldermen should not only report on their committee's activities, but also report on issues and concerns of their constituents?
Yes, I do agree on the whole being on committees and whatnot. It actually helps form a good point of contact and stuff. And as the alderman part, that's why we're here. We're supposed to be walking around the neighborhoods and talking to our constituents, whether they see us or not. We have emails, and it's as simple as that. Just contact us and we'll send it to where it has to go.
Okay, Bill?
I think all the aldermen should know all the workings of every committee and should be able to take that back to their constituents and hear what they have to say and then take that back to the committees. I think it's a simple cycle, and information is the key to it all. The more information, the better the town runs. Thank you.
Thank you. Claudia?
Yes, taking the aldermen is the voice from the community. So it's surprised right now. I have my business in the downtown, in the Blackwell Street. I never see the alderman right now currently running in the office, like walking in the street and talk with the people. I never see that, like talking with the community. we are the voice. We are the bridge to get the information to the town, the administration about what's going on, what the issues, what the complaints with the community. Because we need to stay all of the time in interaction with the community because they are in a position they only know what's going on. And it's the only resource to get the community even in communication and the participation in the town. So if we are not work together in the same way, the town is not successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail.
I think there's been a lot said here tonight about it, and I want to add just one more point about how important communication is and the flow of it from the neighborhoods to the town, from the town to the neighborhoods. It's paramount. And most of what I've run across in my walking the ward is that they don't understand what's going on. They don't know what's going on. They don't know even where to go to find out what's going on. They rely on us to do that. And we should really put extra effort into make sure that we do.
Thank you, Sergio.
Yes, so I believe the question was, does the alderman have a duty to the committees, but as well to the residents, as far as communicating, right?
Yeah, do you believe that aldermen should not only report on their committee activities, but also report on issues and concerns of their constituents?
Yes, 100,000%. So I mean, my view of an alderman, of an elected official, is that they are the conduit, they are the representative of the town. I believe that as an elected official, we should be bringing town hall to our residents and not our residents having to fish out information about what's happening to the town. No, because what I've seen also in our town is that a lot of the residents a lot of our voters are just recycled. Our candidates all go to the same people, but what I did this campaign, I brought a lot of new people into the fold, and that is part of the political process. That is part of democracy. It's not just going to the same people every single cycle. It's bringing in new people who have never even voted or don't care to vote and telling them to vote, to sign them for vote by mail, getting them involved, just even meeting their local elected. A lot of people don't even know who their alderwoman was when I was walking the town. Like my strategy going into my campaign.
Okay, Wendy.
Yes, it is the whole communication is very important. People are very busy. Everybody's busy with their kids, their jobs, their family. There's so much information going out. It's hard for them to get all this information at once. So part of our job is to go to these committees and listen to what they have to say and report obviously back to our meetings. And the reason we have this system of dividing everybody up is because we can't be everywhere at once. So the whole thing of having those ward meetings, I think, is very valuable because then now we can take that information that we hear from the ward meetings and report back to our aldermen. And then having everybody hear that information, it's always good to get feedback from everybody on the board. Maybe one person group may not have an answer, but maybe somebody else on the board will have an answer to some of those issues.
Okay, so the next question is related to what we just talked about, but it's asking you to be a little more specific, so I'll just read this to you. How do you, let me just tell you who it's going to first. It's going to AV first. Okay, how do you plan to make yourself available to your constituents and effectively communicate with them in your ward? Please give specific examples.
Well, personally, since I'm on the board, we have emails. People email us. We, as aldermen, we're supposed to answer them quickly and provide help to them as soon as we can.
Okay. I switched you around, by the way. That was my bad. You go now. Go ahead. Do you want me to repeat the question for you? How do you plan to make yourself available to your constituents and effectively communicate with them in your ward? Please give specific examples.
Well, the obvious, easiest way is board meetings. On a regular basis. I mean, you might see the same faces there all the time, which means they have problems they want to address. If you know me, I walk the fourth ward every day. I like to exercise. I see a lot of the problems in the fourth ward. If you look out your window, you're probably going to see me at some point, and hopefully at your door very soon.
Thank you. Gail.
Social media, emails, word meetings. We need to do a lot of communication, a tremendous amount of communication. It's a lacking factor for all. So that's where I think I'd focus my energy. Social media, emails, and word meetings.
Claudia.
Yes, communication. Hello.
I'm not any better at it, but.
Yeah, no, it's right here. I can fix it. Hello. It's good. Okay, communication is the best way in any community to get more just say walking neighbors, say hello. It's the basic things. Social media and the town need to move the social equity, education programs to the community to get is how get a big communication with the community. Education programs, opportunity because that get opportunity to get even offer the jobs to the community is bring great opportunity with the new programs. That's get the community more reliant communication between the aldermen and the town.
Thank you. Wendy.
Well, again, I think this is where the ward meetings are paramount, but also maybe you can have creative ways. Maybe you're going to have schedule a picnic in the park with people in your ward where they bring their lunch and they have the opportunity to talk about things. Maybe scheduling like a meeting here in the Moose Lodge where people actually bring a dish and it's like a dinner and you get to know each other and everybody in your ward can actually talk to each other, discuss some of the issues that they're having, and then also have the opportunity to talk to you. So not just having meetings, but maybe having social events that help bring the community together as a whole.
Sergio.
Yes, so I mean specific examples, and this is, thank you for the question because I have been thinking of specific examples. So one specific example is that if should I be elected come January, I'm going to be buying, magnets that you put on your fridge with my contact information and the mayor's contact information. This is very simple things, and I'm going to hand them out to all the residents in Ward 2 so that I can, I want it to be to the point where if they have a problem, concern, or opinion, even an opinion or a comment, I want them to be able to pick up the phone and say, hey, Sergio, listen. I think it helps that I'm bilingual because obviously our community is it's a very heavily Hispanic community. Some people speak only Spanish. So a lot of those people are out of the fold, completely politically speaking, because they're just not being touched, they're not being reached. So if you want an alderman who's going to make over communication, I'm going to over communicate to my residents, then elect me. I'm going to be following the path of Bill Schuler, right? Because
I live at 1 Hillcrest Ave in the 3rd Ward. It's parallel street to South Morris Street, which is where I grew up. Everyone would have my telephone number. Everyone knows where I live. They see me in town all the time. I'll be there for them. I'll support all these issues because I think they're great. I think you can't have a meeting always at 7 o'clock at night. It's got to be you got to reach everyone when they're reachable. So you have to be, you have to have an open door policy. I'll have the email, we'll use the social media, I'll do everything. Sometimes I'll cut my beard, I won't cut my beard, so you won't be able to find me all the time, so it's like, where's Bill? But, you know, I'm in Dover, I'll be here to help him out.
Okay, Michael.
Okay. Establishing ward meetings is the really only sensible way to go. I'll tell you this, I've been out campaigning. I spent 8 weeks walking the 3rd ward. I didn't see probably 20% of the people that were there. So getting out walking the neighborhoods does not increase your communication, it just wastes a lot of your time. But ward meetings definitely are the way to go, where you can get people together in one spot to discuss what's going on in the neighborhood. We all have emails, we all have phone numbers. We're responsive to our constituents when they call us with an issue. Of course, their first area should always be to reach out to the department that's responsible, but if they're not getting satisfaction, they come to us and we do answer their calls. But again, getting ward meetings is probably the most efficient way to talk to the community.
Thank you very much. Okay, this next question, we're going to start with Claudia. Do you have ideas for creating community activities geared toward Dover senior citizens? And how would you inform them of these opportunities without solely relying on social media? Please share your ideas.
Yes, for the seniors, they claim they need a lot of programs and a lot of activities. Even though they don't have access to the social media because they don't know how to use the phones or technology. But we can use a lot of flyers to inform them what is the program gonna be available, if they're gonna be involved more in a community because they love it and they want it. So, and one of the things is start with the programs about the transportation. Even though Morris County or another counties have a lot of programs for the seniors, and they have their social workers and everything, but with the aldermen need more communication with the programs to visit the buildings, talk with them, and get the great resource for the programs they can take it and they can enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail.
Senior activities, I think of that as being early in the day. I know that they love dancing, I know they love the music. It's a matter of getting the information together and adding on to that. It's not enough. And also going to them. It's really hard to get seniors, especially in buildings, enough of them, to where activities are taking place. So it's nice to have those activities take place where they live, either in their cafeterias or in their living rooms in terms of the downstairs areas. I would look into that further. It's not anything I've looked into yet, but I think that's very doable.
Thank you. Sergio?
Yes. So, I mean, I love our senior community. One of the problems that I saw in, at least in Ward 2, is not all the seniors live in the senior buildings. A lot of our seniors live in normal homes, normal apartments, and they're usually not touched because, it's easy to go to a senior building and tell all the seniors there that an event happening, but a lot of our seniors are just out there. So, I mean, my number one priority is get a list going of all my seniors in my ward. I already have that going. And honestly, I already have their birthdays down in my calendar because I'm gonna be touching base with them. Our seniors are lovely people. They wanna just have somebody to talk to, wish them a happy birthday, touch on them, hear a story about their kids. This is what I love to do. I'm a public servant at heart. And that's how I plan to communicate everything to all the seniors, not just the ones that live in our senior building, because I think we do need to be aware of that.
Thank you. Wendy?
I think we can also get other groups involved in helping get messages to our seniors. Now, not all seniors, as you said, are in senior buildings. And we also have a lot of the senior events are during the day, but seniors still work. So having other events on even some in the evenings and some on the weekends, but getting messages out maybe to churches. Churches have, do a lot of outreach, and we can also use them to help outreach to any of the seniors who may be members of their church to get information to them. Maybe get partnerships with some of our youths or through the school. Seniors, we have this problem of segregating everybody in society. We do not need to segregate each other by age. So maybe getting some kind of youth program where we can get the youth to go out and bring messages and visit the seniors and maybe spend time with them or bring a lunch to them or a meal to them. Thank you.
Michael.
You know, that's a tough question.
Do you want me to
we
repeat
have-
it for you?
Yeah, please.
Sure. Do you have ideas for creating community activities geared toward Dover senior citizens? And how would you inform them of these opportunities without solely relying on social media? Please share your ideas.
Well, I'll be very honest with you, I'm not a social planner, okay? And I really don't believe that that is the job of an alderman in this town. We have a recreation department that handles activities for the community. We have all we can do to make sure that this town is run in a reasonable way. We have to depend on our departments to do that. We have electronic bulletin boards in town. We put out a town newsletter that informs people of what's going on in the town. It's also brought up at the town meetings when we are having events coming in. The mayor always sits there and tells what the events are and what we're planning on doing in town. And to think that, you know, the aldermen are gonna go around and knock on the doors is a little unrealistic.
Okay, Sergio would like to rebut that.
Yes, I think respectfully, Mike, I would not vote for you if that was the stance of the alderman that's going to be representing my ward. I agree. Yes, the alderman is his duty is to the department, the town, and this, that, and the third. But you can, what's the word? Chew and walk at the same time. You can do that. You know, it takes someone with a lot of energy. It takes someone, I guess, that can multitask. But it's possible, and I'm going to do it. So I can fulfill what Mike is talking about, but I can also do the other part as well. So don't settle for less.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
You know, Dover's lucky to have 3 senior housing units. Dover Housing Authority, the Mill Pond Towers, and Spruce Street. That's a lot of voters, but that's a lot of knowledge, that's a lot of experience, and it's a lot of history. All they need, what they have at each location are professionals that help manage their building. So the town hall should be talking with the professionals at those locations to get the word out. If the word's not coming from town hall to those 3 locations, you know, I've heard several people say that Dover is either 2.1, 2 3/4, or 3.1 square miles. Doesn't matter. You can do it all in like 16 minutes. Come on. Get the word out. The communication seems to be the biggest problem that this town has had. Not all seniors have internet, obviously. Not all seniors are driving by the electric signs either.
AB.
I'll take it first and see.
Okay, go ahead.
I think we heard it earlier tonight. We used to have a lot of senior programs in town, and they were financed by sponsors. I think that's the best way to go with this. Communication, getting it out to the public, yeah, through town hall, flyers, but I don't want to sound wrong here, but there's this thing called snail mail. And you can get communication out to seniors and non-seniors. Thank you.
AB.
Like it was said earlier, we do have electric signs throughout town. We can also go to the senior buildings with flyers and drop them off at the door. And that's one way for them to know what's going on. I also had a neighbor that came from a different town, and she was talking about senior classes. Where she came from, they had knitting classes, like a movie night. It'd be great to have that type of stuff for the seniors.
Yes.
The only way you can have those activities is find a place like the Moose Lodge or a community center that we can negotiate through one of the pilots that's coming into town.
Okay, thank you. Next question, we are going to start with Wendy. Do you believe that pilot programs are appropriate to be adopted for residential development projects? Why or why not?
Okay, from my understanding, with all these pilot programs that we have now that are giving sweetheart deals to all these developers with these huge apartment complexes, without we don't know, we've had traffic studies and other things, to see if they're necessary, causing more traffic downtown. My understanding, we did a little, survey with our Republican group, and they were talking about the one that's going to be built here, by Salem Street. And we're getting somewhere about $92,000 in taxes a year from the people who currently own it. But with the pilot program, we figured it out, we'd only be getting, that's 90-something thousand a year, we'd only be getting something like 30,000 a year. So I just don't think it's necessarily fair that our taxpayers foot the bill, why developers with all the money are not. I know Mayor Dodd talked earlier about you have to negotiate a better deal. So maybe that would help, but as of now, with the information I have, I'm not a big fan of the ones that have been going on currently.
Thank you. Sergio?
Yeah, I mean, Wendy's 100% correct. The most recent pilot programs are not good. They are exceptionally bad. Pilot programs work. Don't ask us, don't ask Mayor Dodd, ask every other mayor in every other town in New Jersey. You can walk down Main Street, you'll see that they are developing. Okay, we are not developing here in Dover, and that's due to the current administration. You need a negotiator. Candidate 2, he said before, he doesn't like pilot programs because he thinks that developers have one thing in mind. It's their interest, yes. But if we want to be real, everyone is the self-interested human being. That's just the nature of human beings. But the reason that pilot programs work is because one man comes with the self-interest of the developer, and the mayor comes in with his self-interest of the town, and you work together. Mayor Dodd has been in public service for over decades. 15 years as a mayor, 14 years, decades. He's been there because he can compromise, right? He's there and he's been re-elected because he can compromise. In politics, you have longevity by compromising. You don't go far if you don't compromise.
Okay, Bill.
Yeah, this is the great hot topic. Pilots. This is almost like affordable housing and all those other terms I threw out there. What is a pilot? Payment in lieu of taxes. It's a financial arrangement that the town makes with the developer. It's a way the developer can get his shovels in the ground and start making progress and delay the inevitable big ticket tax that's going to come when the project's completed. The problem is what we're seeing, or what has been presented to the public, our fellow citizens, there's just not enough transparency. We don't see the deals until the deals are done. Some of this information can be brought out to us. A lot of these conversations have been going on for the last 20 years. And I know because we were talking about them back when I was in office in 2003. So why not look at what some other towns have done, like Westfield, what other towns have done with Riverwalks. Check them out.
Michael.
Okay, first of all, I'll correct Wendy. The pilot that's going on to Blackwell Street by South Morris is going to generate $659,000 a year in additional taxes, whereas we're currently getting $91,000 from the current properties. But at completion, yes. Okay.
How long are we waiting for completion?
Pilots right now are a necessary evil. We're not getting any development that's coming into town. We have been struggling for development in town. Number one concern of people in Dover is taxes. Okay, the taxes are going up. The taxes are going up. The only way to increase taxes is to increase our rateables. We have very little space in Dover to build in. I think we're about done with pilots. I don't see right now any more big projects coming into town. but they do serve a purpose. And what they do is they let a builder get a break.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna have one quick rebuttal by Sergio. This is the last question, by the way.
The pilot programs that are being negotiated in the past 4 years are bad. It's not a secret. It's the community knows it. They're not good. We're not even collecting on the taxes from previous pilot programs. So there's a thing of negotiating a pilot program, enacting it, and then also enforcing it. We're not doing any of that in this current administration. So we are losing out on a lot of money. This town is being sold because to the developer and that specific one.
All right, Bill.
We all know pilots are here to stay. They're here in every town. I think Pandora's box is open, but we need to get more from the developers. We're giving it away too much and not getting anything back in return. If you talk to citizens, all they know is there's a project happening over there on whatever street. They have no idea what the terms are, and if they knew, they'd probably be opposed to it, but that wasn't a rebuttal.
That was the question? I apologize.
That was a rebuttal.
That was a
No, it
rebuttal.
wasn't a rebuttal. We haven't answered the question.
No, that's the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I lost my train of thought. Thank you.
Would you like me to
Nope.
repeat the question and you can answer it, Toby?
There's a second question.
Okay, apologies.
You can be reminded you were saying they're here to stay, so what?
We gotta make the most of them. Get as much as we can from the developer. For the people of Dover, we're losing out. We're the ones paying. We're the ones putting higher strain on our infrastructure. Water, sewer. When you flush 200 more apartment toilets, it's gotta go into that same water line that I see breaking all over town. Unless there's gonna be some kind of financial incentive to upgrade those facilities as well, we lose.
Okay, AB.
This is an answer. This is.
That's an answer.
Go ahead.
What is that?
That was the last question.
No. Maybe has an answer.
No, I know, I'm waiting for him.
Oh, I thought you were confused.
No, I didn't start, so we took a break.
All right.
Okay,
Good?
you ready?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Alrighty, I agree and with pilots if they're done correctly. If they're done correctly, they're good for the town. The last one or two that we had in town were not good for us. It was rushed through. There wasn't any checks done on traffic, sewage. It was just pushed through. But like I said, I do agree with them if they're done properly and we get something out of it.
Thank you, Claudia.
About the pilot program right now in the town of Dover, we don't have an idea what's going on. So pilot program is very important with good administrator and good agreements. So pilot programs is designed to bring more programs, more resource to the community. Is the good to know is investing in construction is very important. Maintain road constructions, in this reconstruction the roads around the schools, sidewalks and everything is very important. Updates, the infrastructure, public, get a good investment, work together with the schools and everything. The schools in each town is a big asset we have it. So and the pilot programs can work good with agreements.
Well, it's been said many times that the pilots that are in some communities are doing very well, some towns doing very well. We have about 9 on the books. I could be wrong by 1 or 2. 9 on the books. How's Dover doing? Not well. We don't have tax revenue. We do not have tax revenue from it. We have impact to the environment without any consideration. We need to have the upfront agreements be stronger. We need to meet with people who have done well in other communities, get their opinion, and we need to bring professionals in to write it. Who's writing it? Something's wrong. And Dover needs to stand up and stop it. Now, if we get it under control and we take a look at some of the things that make it real good when it works, we can reopen it. We need to pause. We have way too much out there. 30 years. Does anybody realize that? 30 years? I won't even be here. That's a long time.
Thank you. Okay, well, you had an opening statement each, and you answered 6 questions. So now it's time for us to hear your closing statements, 2 minutes each. And they're going to be just the opposite positions that you had with the opening statements. So we'll start with Ward 1. Excuse me. And Gail, you will go first.
There's always room for improvement, and we shouldn't look at anything as all good or all bad. We need to work together, we need to close gaps. That's a very common theme these days in politics. But it really can happen. I'm definitely going to make it happen when I'm elected. I want to sit down with the people who don't agree with me as much as the people who do. I want to be able to figure out why they don't agree with me and how can I fit that into what I think is great, to make it great. We have to consider that we've been here a really long time. We have a great history. We're a diverse neighborhood. We have people living in deplorable conditions that left deplorable conditions to come here. What are we doing for them? What are we doing for the taxpayers who can't even park a car in front of their house? We don't have enough recreation for the children who are coming in with these families, that they can go out and not hang out. We have a lot of issues in Dover, and I hope that you'll come forward with them as you recognize them and trust us to do something about it, because that's what we're here to tell you. I will do something about them. All you have to do is show me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Claudia? Sorry, John.
It has been an enlightening discussion, and I thank everyone for their thoughtful and informed contributions. As we all know, there are no easy answers to the complex challenges, questions facing our country today. However, I'm confident that we can come together as a community to create positive changes for Dover. We must work together to find solutions that will benefit all of us and ensure a brighter future for generations to come, children. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to continue communication with you. And we need to make Dover the better place to live. Thank you.
Thank you. Ward 2, Wendy.
I've been a resident of Dover for over 40 years. I graduated from Dover High School, where I met my husband. We raised 3 children in town. I'm a mom, and as moms, we all know we are concerned about our children and where our children live. So some of the issues I'd like to address, I said before, was not allowing our single-family homes to be purchased and cut up into multi-dwellings. Generally, they don't stay 2-family. If they do make them 2-family, generally they are, people are just forced in room by room. I've seen it right in my own neighborhood. houses that are pretty close to me, the same thing done. I've seen houses in Dover where the land, we allow the subdivision and the subdivision and the subdivision. One neighborhood in one development in my area, they have 5 houses they built, but not one of them has a driveway. Why was that allowed? We need to stop allowing developers to cutting up all of our space and squeezing more houses in. It creates a parking issue. I'm very concerned about getting that community center. Possibly Bassett Highway, that building, I believe is for sale. That's near the old parking lot. Maybe we can convince some of the people who own these buildings to partner with the town and either rent or create space for that community center that brings us all together. The other problem with Dover, how do we get people to come to our businesses if we keep building on our parking lots? When I was young, we had the big parking lot there behind Bassett Highway. I don't know who owns it, but maybe looking into having another parking garage, that people can come and use our restaurants, that people can come to our businesses. If we do have a flea market, maybe the end of Bassett Highway, how will people come to the flea market if we keep building on top of all our parking lots? So we need to look at the whole master plan and consider smart development. It's not that we don't want development, we just want smart development.
Thank you. Sergio.
Neighbors, I just want to get really real with all of you. Every single one of you. Carol Ruiz, Maria, Teresa, Christine, Dennis Toohey, T.C. McCourt. We are all in this together. We are all neighbors. We need to work together, but we need to get behind the people that Dover elects. We need to stop opposing the will of the people. The will of the people is the will of the people. Once they choose their people to represent them, we ought to honor that decision and work with those people. I plan to work with all of you. Teresa, you have a big job in front of you. You know? Yes. Daniela, I'm so sorry. Daniela Mendoza, yes. Listen, you have a big task ahead of you. You need help. Help is on the way. Maria, you are a community leader. You know, you have influence. You move people. That's a mover and shaker. We need you for the sake of our people. Not for an administration, not for a person, for the sake of our people. Carol Ruiz, you are a community leader, a big one. You have influence. You move people. You're a mover and shaker in this town. We need to work together. The will of the people is the will of the people, right? T.C. McCourt, right, T.C.? We need to get the Young Democrats activated. We need to I'm being very serious. I'm being very serious because we all are in this for the right reasons. That's what I do know, right? I do know that. We are all in it for the right reasons. Our hearts are in the right places. So let's respect the will of the people come November 7th, and let's get behind the people that Dover elects.
Thank you. Ward 3, Michael.
I want to thank everybody for coming tonight and listening to us. We'll all give you our honest thoughts and how we think we're going to help you. The honest fact is we're all going to try to help you. We'll do the best job we can for you. I promise that I will work together with everybody and I will make an informed decision. I will listen to the facts. I will weigh them and I will do what I feel is the best for our community. That's all any of us can promise you. We are dealt the hand we're dealt with what the current situation is. It's an uphill battle, and it's going to be a painful climb out of the hole we're in, but we can do it if we work together. Thank you.
Thank you. Bill.
Yeah, thank you everyone for coming tonight. It's always a lot of fun to come out and hear everyone's opinions and hear voices and see people you don't see regularly. You know, I don't have a magic wand. None of us have a magic wand up here to fix everything that's going on we perceive as being wrong in Dover. But there's two things I want to leave us with, if I can get that to resonate. Our two biggest tax bills are the town and the schools. The town and the schools should have liaisons that meet and meet often. They shouldn't be meeting on the same night of the week. That's just wrong. I don't care how it gets fixed. but it should get fixed, and it should have gotten fixed probably 50 years ago. Secondly, we as a town, we just can't capitulate to every property owner that wants to develop their land. Some land just demands too many waivers to get things to qualify it for that kind of construction. That intensity is over with. We don't need, Dover can't afford more rental properties in our town. Are they needed in Morris County? Are they needed in New Jersey? Yes, but Dover's not the rental hub of Morris County. 50% of our housing stock since the last 50 years, 20 years for sure, have been, it's swayed 48 to 52%, whatever you want to say, has been non-owner occupied. We need more owner occupancy. We need people with stakes in the, boots on the ground and stakes in their earth, saying we want to be here for our town, we want to plant our roots here. Our roots don't grow in sand, really. You got to have good soil. Dover's got a lot of good soil. I know it from the dahlias I grow and that my wife cuts, Frau Schuler. Thank you for coming tonight, Frau. Great to get you out on the night. So, thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Ward 4, Bill.
I want to thank again all our sponsors, and I'd like to thank all the candidates for coming out, taking the time, and informing the citizens of Dover on your views on these vital issues. But now is the time we need to look to a new future of Dover with new ideas that benefit all the residents. So we implore you now to please go vote on November 7th or before, however you choose to do it. But please, make your voice be heard. You have a choice, Dover. Make it now.
Thank you. Last but not least, A.B.
Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure debating with you tonight. We have agreed, and we may not have agreed on every point, but I believe we can all agree that a healthy political debate is an integral part of the democracy. Thank you for your time and your thoughtful contributions to this debate. I hope that everyone has found this to be a meaningful and engaging experience. Time is undefeated, and I will continue to work for the future of Dover.
Thank you so much. Thank all of you. Could you please give them a really Thank you so much.
Thank you to the candidates, Tony Zimmer, our league moderator, our timer, Diane Holland, and to the Moose Lodge for making this evening possible. Thank you to the Daily Record and the Morris County NAACP for their participation and support, and we look forward to continuing on working together with them. Thank you to the audience for attending and being active participants in the democratic process. Remember to make your vote count and vote in the election on Tuesday, November the 7th. You can vote by mail. They're going to be sent out later this month to the voters who signed up for them. If you would like to apply to vote by mail, applications must be received by October 31st at the office of the county clerk. Applications can be found online or at our table. New Jersey voters can now vote early in person and on a voting machine from October 28th to November 5th. During this time, a limited number of polling locations will be open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on weekdays and Saturdays, and from 1 to 6 p.m. on Sundays. Please stop by our table to pick up information about the league, voting, and how to get involved. And there's also a table for the candidates if you want to stop by. For the small print, please. The content of this forum is owned by the League of Women Voters. Only the League may record this forum. Our recording is available for viewing on the Morris County Area League YouTube channel and website. We encourage you to share the link, but remind you that the recording can only be shared in its entirety. It cannot be downloaded, and footage may not be edited in any way. Thank you so much.